I am an entrepreneur, I guess a serial entrepreneur. I started 4 or 5 businesses over the last 30 years. When I met with ECU, I was coming out of a transition where I sold my company in 2022. I was supposedly to stay on for 2 years. The acquiring company decided to shut the business down and let me go in June of 23. So I was helping him close the business down, find a buyer. I am engaged with ECU in September. I wanted to do something different. So I was coming out of a very small field of residential home staging. And being an entrepreneur, I sat on the other side of the desk most of the time to interview others and to evaluate others and giving them career opportunities. And literally when I went to write my resume, I realized very quickly I had no idea what other industries were looking for. And because I wanted to try to shift and do something different, I had to get out of my bubble. And so that's when I started vetting other companies and came across ECU, felt a real kinship there, and decided to go with them. As soon as I tried to write my resume, I realized I have no idea what these people are looking for. I got a lot of experience. I've been doing this for 30 years. So I've led sales teams. I became obsessed with operational excellence. I really didn't know what direction to go, let alone what to lead with. Do you lead with increasing sales up to 400% year over year? Do you lead with creating operational initiatives where you could save 28% in your expense? I didn't know even where to start. And so when I sat down to write my resume and to get serious about looking for a job, I realized very quickly I was above my pay grade. So I was looking for help. When I got out of college, we would type up a resume and we would mail it. So it's been a long time. What are the algorithms? What are they looking for? Where does AI come into play? What are the buzzwords? I lived in such a bubble for 15, 20 years. I didn't know what other people were looking for. So as soon as I started drafting my resume and asking for help, everybody wants to pitch in and help, but nobody has the expertise to say, hey, here's what this industry is looking for. Here's the buzzwords. Here's what's going to kick your resume to the top, because a lot of it is done through automation. I'm a people person, literally. That's my core competency, creating relationships. It's hard to do that if you can't get past a 23-year-old recruiter looking for exact matches. You're never going to find a job that way. Not anybody at a C level or a director or higher position looking to make a career change. You really do have a cadre of professionals. You don't really have a weak link. Your support is awesome. I know that somebody saw my issue and is working on it. And also, it's not easy finding a job. When you're my age, it's not like you're 27 looking for a career change. I have 5 children that depend on me and a wife and 2 dogs. And I needed to find a job that would adequately compensate me financially as well as emotionally. And that's not an easy task. So I thought it was great that ECU is there to encourage you, hold you accountable, constantly put you back in the right mind frame, mindset, because it is easy to get beat up. I had 700 rejections. I'd wake up every morning to 10 to 30 rejections in my email every day. And I've had companies ghost me. I was on the verge of being hired several different times, and they would just disappear. And so ECU being there as a sounding board to help keep your mind right and your goals straight, I think is invaluable. Plus, ECU honed my interviewing skills and helped me put all this information, all my experience in a way that it's concise, it's consolidated, and where recruiters and those folks that did interview me, I think appreciated and understood. And so I found it invaluable just to have somebody even to bang something off of. Do it sooner than later. The faster you begin your search, the faster you're going to get that job. It's not easy. I wouldn't do it alone. It's a grueling task finding a career. Don't settle. Hey, look at it as an opportunity that you have a real opportunity to enhance your life if you go about it correctly. You don't want to find a job that you know you're going to be leaving in a year. You want to find a job that you're going to be happy with for 10 or 15 years and have some stability in your life. I wish I would have engaged ECU a year before I did. I knew I could see the writing on the wall. A lot of us do, and a lot of us ignore it. And I never, ever thought it would take me longer than a few. Nobody did. My family went on a vacation when I was unemployed to Mexico because they thought for sure By the time they got back, I would have a job. I mean, who would have thought it? So do it as soon as possible. And if you're unhappy where you're at and you're thinking you might either be displaced or you might quit, start looking immediately. So I wouldn't put it off. It's a big investment, but your career and sanity is worth it. And I have a job and I don't regret it. It was worth every penny.